Hi there, it's Dermot here again, and just going to continue with my kind of series of talks on recovery. And today I'm just going to look at assertiveness and just what assertiveness is, how we can find assertiveness or become assertive. And when you look in active addiction, we were either A, very aggressive when we were taking alcohol or drugs, or very passive whenever we weren't, so we'd have been very submissive in that. Wouldn't want to be making a scene, etc. Probably introverted, low self-esteem. But that inner, I suppose, little monster was always inside of us and always wanted to come out, and it took the likes of alcohol and drugs to help it come out. So it's how to be assertive without losing your temper. And again, as I say, there's nothing wrong with having a bit of anger inside you, but it's how you behave or how you portray it. So assertiveness. Okay, if you look at that little diagram there, as you see, assertive is a blend between someone being passive and someone being a bit aggressive. So if you look there, placating one down or defeated, or as an example there, a doormat. You let people walk all over you. As you're saying there, you're okay, but I'm not. Then you look at the other side there, and you've got the bully, or as it says, the sledgehammer, and saying, I'm okay, and you're not okay. So you can see the two differences there. And it's to get in the middle. In the middle is the assertiveness, is I'm okay and you're okay too. So I'm not going to sledgehammer you, and I'm not going to use you as a doormat either. And nor will I be allowed myself to be sledgehammered or be used as a doormat. Right, so just to introduce it, what does it mean to be assertive? Aggression and passive aggression versus assertiveness. How to be assertive. Assertiveness increases self-esteem and self-worth. And an assertive attitude enhances ongoing recovery. So just the definition, assertiveness is the quality of being self-assured and confident without being aggressive. So it's getting your point across and getting listened to and being valued without having to thump the head of people, so to say. So it's a form of behavior characterized by a confident declaration or affirmation of a statement without need of proof. This affirms a person's rights or point of view without either aggressively threatening the rights of another, assuming a position of dominance, or submissively permitting another to ignore or deny one's rights or point of view. So, when I read that statement there, the first person that comes to mind is Martin Luther King Jr. He was what you would have called an assertive person. The civil rights movement is an assertive movement. It's non-violent, but they do get their point across, and they do get heard, and people do listen, but they don't go running around, you know, shooting and killing and maiming other people to do that. So assertiveness can be learned if practiced on an ongoing basis. So it is something that we can all learn. It's not either you have it or you don't have it. People can be overly aggressive, people can be very passive, but both passive and aggressive people can learn to become assertive. Assertive people stand their ground without being negatively influenced by other people and their beliefs. So they have their own values and they hold on to those values and those beliefs into themselves. They don't allow themselves to be swayed from those values. They'll be open to other people's opinions, listen to other people's opinions, but they don't have to believe in those other people's opinions either. As I said, assertive people respect other people, their own thoughts and beliefs. So that's fine. Whatever other people believe in or think or feel, that's their thoughts, their feelings, and their beliefs. And a person who's assertive will listen to them, will take on board what they have to say, but will still hang on to their own beliefs and values and thoughts. Assertive people are not bullies, and they don't allow themselves to be bullied. Like I said in the diagram there, they won't be bullied and they won't bully, but they will get their point across. The aggressive communications posture. So in a sense, I say when you're aggressive, when you're coming across, I count, but you don't count. So I'm important, you're not. The passive communication posture is I don't count at all. The passive-aggressive communication posture is I count, you don't count, but I'm not going to tell you about it. And this is the one you see a lot in active addiction, this passive-aggressive or all picture, no sound, as they call it. And especially in families, people will go around for weeks not talking, just grunting and, using another person in the family to communicate through, tell your mother this or tell your father this when they're sitting in the same room. It's very, very childish and very, 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 very annoying. The assertive communication posture is I count and so do you. You do too. So we're both important. So where you have your rights or where your rights are being violated, you have three options. You can A, be submissive, say nothing, and fume in silence. And that gets you nowhere. That just builds resentments. And if you're in addiction, there's a good chance you're going to go and drink or use again because of that submissiveness, because you might be portraying submissiveness towards other people and just putting on a plastic smile, but deep down inside you, you're burning up. 2, be aggressive and hostile, which will probably just fuel the fire. So you're reacting to someone or you attack someone, they're going to go into defense mode and they're going to attack you back. It's just simple, just the law of life. That's what's going to happen. So if you lose the plot, lose the head and attack someone, it's just going to go round and round and be tit for tat, backwards and forwards. So 3, calmly and politely assert your interests. So yes, you're angry and express how you feel angry, but get it across, get across how you're feeling. It's not about that person, it's about yourself. Humans always respond more favorably to kindness, and it's very true. I'm sure you've noticed it in your life. If you've asked someone to do something rather than screamed at them, they'll probably do it if you scream at them for fear. If you ask someone to do something nicely, there's a good chance they probably will do it, if you're assertive with them, rather than not. So 5 suggestions on how to be assertive. So 1, think before you speak. So I'm not just talking about general chit chat here, but if you want to say something assertively, if you want to ask someone to do something or hear you out, think of what you're going to say. Don't just open your mouth and blurt it out. To avoid blaming, this is a biggie. Don't say you did this and you did that. It's because of, it's I feel this, I statements, I think, I need, and you're owning it. You have to own it. You can't throw it out there and make it other people's problems, because it's not, it's what you're going through. So you need to own this. So remember, never use we, you. It's I or me. Never say never. That just is like a red flag to a bull to a lot of people. You never do this. You always doing this. Never use that. As I say, never. It's just going to just cause more of a reaction, more of a resentment, more anger. Don't hold a grudge. Let people know how you feel. Get it out there. It takes courage to do that, yes, but once it's out there, and then it's gone. You'll find it just disappears. It doesn't linger and linger and linger. It doesn't become a resentment and just hang around. So don't be holding a grudge. Once you get it out there, it's gone. Using humor, and that releases tension. Again, don't make it too light. Don't make humorous of everything. If something is serious and needs to be talked about, it needs to be talked about. But in the sense of using humor to kind of break the tension or build the rapport, lighten the mood, that's a good, clever way to do it. Say I've got good news and I've got bad news, that kind of thing. People normally kind of find that amusing. They think, well, tell us the bad news first and let's go over there. And, that's how you can break into that. Sorry. And how not to come across as passive aggressive when being assertive. Well, this is just an example, I'm going to go through that just now. So allow yourself to feel your anger. Anger is not a bad emotion. We have anger for a reason. We have all emotions for a reason. They're there for a reason. So don't think, oh, because I'm angry, I'm bad, I've done something wrong, I can't be angry. If you're angry, and that's just it. Make clear assertive requests, as I say, the example there. So if you're a passive aggressive example would be this. After you go to the gym or whatever it is you do all day, whilst I'm at work, Would you mind picking up the dry cleaning for me? That's as if you're not too busy. And can you see the sarcasm in that? You know, if somebody asked you in that way to do something for them, they're condescending, they're putting you down. It's a controlling behavior. Trying to think, well, you're doing F all day, so you might as well do that for me. In a sense, how does that statement make you feel? I know it make me feel very annoyed. I know I would say, wait a minute, what do you mean when I'm sitting around doing nothing all day? How dare you? And then you get a possible response, well, can't you take a joke? That's even more condescending again. So don't do that. You might think it's funny, but it hurts people. So you can't be talking to people like that, no matter who they are. If you want something done, or you want someone to do something for you, without a reaction, it's as simple just to say, will you please pick up my dry cleaning for me on your way home tonight? And you can get an answer of either yes, I can, or no, I can't. It's as simple as that. And you probably find you get a better response by asking it just a direct statement. You don't have to fluff it up or add on to it, or make it sarcastic or whatever. Just straight out, will you please pick up my dry cleaning for me tonight on your way home? And all you can say is, well, I can or I can't. So validating the other person's feelings. So again, as I say, understand other people's feelings and where they're coming from. So, but empathy there doesn't mean you have to agree with them. So you don't have to agree with them 100%. But again, you want to know where they're at. You want to meet in the middle. So the example again there, rather than saying, look, I need to talk to you, turn off that telly. Just say, look, I know you're not happy having to miss the game or soaps, whatever it is you're watching, but us having this talk is very important to me, and I'd really appreciate you doing it. And you probably find if you came across that way, you acknowledge what that person was at and what they were doing, and how important what you need to do, what you need to say is, they will oblige and they will probably stop, turn it off, pause it, whatever, and they'll come and listen to you. That applies to any other kind of example there. So be a good listener, good posture, eye contact, minimum interruptions. Don't be butting in. Don't be putting in your opinion. Paraphrasing, you're not a counselor. That'll make the other person feel heard and make them feel respected. So it's eye contact. If you look at someone, and communication is more than just words. Communication is eye contact, it's facial expressions, it's body movement. So when you're watching someone, look at their face, look at their eyes, look at their mouth, and you will hear them more than just listening. Because when you're listening, you also get distracted. There's external noises, etc., etc. So you need to use more than just one sense when you're listening to someone. And turn off that bloody phone. It's become a norm now in this society where everyone just sits with the phone in the hand, yeah, staring at the phone, yeah, no, I heard you, yeah, and how annoying that is for anybody. When you're trying to tell someone something and they're sitting staring at their phone, tweeting or whatever the hell they're doing. It's very, very rude. You hate it being done to you, so don't do it to other people. And be collaborative, working together to find a common solution, rather than being a dictator or really being dictated to. And you find that in families. You be the dominant parent, be the mother or the father. You find it in the workplace, the boss being the dictator. You get a much better result from people if you sit them around and say, well, look, this is the situation we have. What should we do about it? How do we find a solution to our problem? All of us throw in your bit and we'll work it out and thrash it about and come up with a solution. And that's the best way to work in any situation. Because once you start throwing down instructions and do this, do that, you're going to get resistance from people. And if they do it, they'll do it with a resentment. They won't be happy doing it. But you let everybody come on board and make a decision, and you will find you get a much better response. So in most cases, addicts will be both perpetrators and victims of both aggressive and passive aggressive behavior. Like I said, aggressive more so when you take alcohol and drugs. As I say, it's the truth serum. So your real feelings come out. So you're more likely to argue, become argumentative, get into fights, etc. when you're drunk or you're high. Passive aggressive again, they all picture no sound when you're sober or you've done something wrong or they're not talking to you or you're not talking to them. Equally as damaging as being aggressive. So we will have been both, we would have been passive aggressive and would have been received passive aggressiveness from family members, even aggression from family members when we're drunk. They could also lose their temper as well. So waiting for the other person to change from being an aggressor is pointless, as they'll continue to behave in the same way if not challenged. And it's the same thing. A bully will always bully if they get away with getting away with being a bully, and that's what they'll do until they're challenged. They'll never stop. Why should they? It's the same with someone who's very passive and very submissive. They'll continue to be very passive and submissive unless they're challenged and told, why are you being so passive and submissive? So if you don't challenge someone, they're not going to change. So sitting there waiting for them to change is not going to happen. By becoming assertive without being aggressive, we'll challenge their behavior in a non-threatening way. And yes, you probably will get a reaction in the beginning because they're going to see this change and think, what the hell's going on with him or her? Where's this coming from? Who the hell do they think they are, trying to come across and know it all, or trying to tell me what to do? How dare they? And you will get resistance. It's normal for that to happen. But don't give up. Don't think, oh God, I can't be doing this no more because they've picked me up and they know what I'm at, or I don't have a voice. Keep at it. Just keep chipping away, and that's all you can do is keep chipping it away. And you will start to see changes in other people. They will become more open and more receptive to you. Most importantly, it'll improve your own self-esteem. So the more you see it working, the better you feel in yourself, and the more you will keep doing it. Again, assertiveness increases self-worth and self-esteem, as I said. And again, it improves your day-to-day recovery, enhances your quality of life, thus empowering you to be more assertive. And so, it's a snowball effect. And again, as I say, it's a life skill and it can be learned by anybody. So whether you're an aggressive person, a passive person, or whatever kind of person you are, you can learn to be assertive. As long as you believe and accept that you deserve it, and that's what you have to believe. And I deserve to be assertive, and everybody does. If we were all assertive in this world, what a fantastic world it would be. There would be no such thing as wars or violence, because we'd all get our point across, and we'd all be happy, and we'd all coexist, and we'd all collaborate and cooperate and all that. So it is a life skill. It is a habit, a new habit to learn. You have to take a lot of courage initially to start it off. And yes, you will get resistance, and you will get people who won't like what you're doing. They won't like to see the changes in you. But you just have to keep at it and just keep pushing yourself that little bit. Come out of your comfort zone, because the rewards are worth it at the end of the day. Because you will find people will be more responsive to you than before. They won't walk all over you or try and beat your head in. And again, don't ever let another person's behavior and opinion dictate yours. You have your own brain, you can think your own thoughts and make your own decisions. And that's vitally important as well. People have moods, people have behaviors. It's not your problem. Your own mood, your behavior, your thinking is your problem. So what you think, feel, or behave, or do is yours. It's yours to own. If somebody else, be it family, work, or whoever, is in a bad mood, don't be running around and trying to make them feel better. It's not going to work. You're just going to piss them off even more, make them more agitated. What you need to do is just move away. Let them stay with their mood. Let them keep their mood. Avoid them, because at that stage they're in a very toxic place, and that toxicity will just rub off onto you and just make you feel angry and annoyed and pissed off, etc. Thinking, they're blaming me for their mood. It's not. People are moody. That's what we are. So avoid people when they're in a bad mood. Don't take on their mood and think, I need to do something to fix it, or I must have been the problem in the first place. Walk away. Right, so just to summarize this up, we just looked at what assertiveness is, the difference between aggressiveness, passive aggressive, and assertiveness, and basic tips on how to become more assertive. Now, if you want more tips, again, I got a lot of this information freely from a website called get.gg, which is a CBT-based website. Now you can look there, they've got lots of templates. Also on the World Wide Web, I'm sure there's plenty of information on assertiveness, plenty of different tips you can use, and do so. Do look up everything you can, find the best way forward that you can move, and just keep working at it. That's all you can do. Just keep trying a wee bit every day, just keep plugging away, and you will start to see changes in yourself first and foremost, and then you will start to see changes in people around you as well. So that's the end of this talk, and just thank you very much for listening. And I'm sure I'll have another one coming on not too distant future. And just have a lovely day and take care. Okay, thanks. Right, bye bye.